عِبَادِكَ أَحَبُّ إِلَيْكَ. Oh Allah, which of your slaves do you love the most? Dawud al-Islam asked Allah, oh Allah, which of your slaves do you love the most? Allah says, تَقِيُّ الْقَلْبِ نَقِيُّ الْكَفَّيْنِ لَا يَأْتِي أَحَدًا بِسُوءٍ وَلَا يَمْشِي بِالنَّمِيمَةِ تزول الجبال ولا يزول أحبني وأحب من يحبني وحببني إلى الناس. Ajib. Allah says, those whom I love, they are those in whose heart is my taqwa, my fear, reliance only on Allah, motivated only to please Allah. They don't stretch their hands out to anyone besides Allah. They don't harm Allah's creation. They don't carry tales. They remain firm in the obedience of Allah. Mountains will move, they will not move. Then Allah says, they love me. They love me. They love those who love me. And they make me beloved in the hearts of men. Dawud al-Islam says, إِنِّي أُحِبُّكَ وَأُحِبُّ مَنْ يُحِبُّكَ فَكَيْفَ أُحَبِّبُكَ إِلَى النَّاسِ. Oh Allah, I love you. I love those that love you. I want to become your beloved. How can I make mankind love you? How can I make mankind love you? Allah Ta'ala tells him, ذَكِّرْهُمْ بِآلَائِي وَنَعْمَائِي وَبَلَائِي. O Dawood, go from person to person. Go from person to person. Tell them about Allah. Tell them about my favors. Tell them about my bounties. Tell them about my majesty. Tell them about my glory. This ummah is called, ordered, sent, chosen by Allah to go from person to person. Tell them who is Allah. We are Allah's safir. We are Allah's messengers on this earth. We have been sent to make ta'aruf of Allah, to invite and introduce the whole of mankind to who is Allah. That Allah who is the maker, that Allah who is the breaker, that Allah who is the giver, that Allah who is the taker, that Allah who is alone. Allahu la ilaha illahu al-hayy al-qayyum la ta'khudhuhu sinatu wa la nawm. Allah who is alone, He is alive, He is the controller of everything. He is the only one that exists on His own accord. Everything else exists because of Allah. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. He does not sleep. He does not get tired. He does not doze off. His doors are open. The nightfall descends. The courts are closed. The palaces are closed. The gates are locked. Locks are put on. Doorkeepers are placed. Now it is after hours. The kings are in their reveling. The kings of this world are in their enjoyment and their haram and their filth. They are not prepared to entertain anyone. They are not prepared to listen to anyone. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. Allah ينزل ربنا تبارك وتعالى حين يبقى ثلث الليل الآخر فيقول من يدعوني فأستجيب له من يسألني فأعطيه من يستغفرني فأغفر له. At the time when everyone else is sleeping, in ghaflat, in negligence, Allah, in His majesty, in His glory, descends to the first heaven. And Allah calls out in the last third of the night, who is there to call unto me? Who is there that has some need that I may grant his need? Who is there that wants something so that I may grant it to him? Who is there that wants my forgiveness so that I may forgive him? Allah, who is not in need of us, who doesn't need us, yet He is calling out. Who is there? Man dhalladhi qara ala babi falam aftah lah. Who is there that knocked on my door and that door was not open for him? Man dhalladhi salani falam u'tihi. Who is there that asked from me and was not granted? Such a giver that if He doesn't give you in dunya, He will give you so much in akhirat that you will wish He didn't fulfill any wish of yours in dunya. لا تسألن بني آدم حاجة وسل الذي أبوابه لا يغلق فالله يغضب إن تركت سؤاله وبني آدم حين يسأل يغضب. Don't ask your needs from insan. Don't ask your needs from insan. Ask your needs from the one whose doors never close. Insan is such, the more you ask him, he will get angry with you. Allah is such that He gets angry when you don't ask from Him. This is Allah. Abdi. Allah Ta'ala addresses His slaves. In zakartani zakartuk. وَإِن نَسِيتَنِي ذَكَرْتُكَ. When you remember me, I remember you. And when you forget me, I still remember you. Ya Dawood, O Dawood, لو يعلم المدبرون ما عندي من الأشواق لتقطعت أوصالهم. If those who had turned away from me, if those whose days are spent in my disobedience, if those whose nights are spent in my disobedience, if they had to come to know how much of shauq, how much of love, how much of muhabbat, how much of anticipation and affection I have for them, then their joy will be such that their limbs will split. O Dawood, if that is my love for those who have broken my orders, what is my love for those who are obedient to me? That is Allah. Ya ibn Adam, inni laka muhibbun, fabihaqqi alayka kun li muhibba. Allah says, O insan, O my banda, O my slaves, I love you. Now because of the haqq, because of the right, what right Allah doesn't have on us? Every breath of air we take in is the deen of Allah upon us. Every blink of this eyelid is Allah's deen upon us. Every movement of this tongue is Allah's favor upon us. So Allah says, because of the haqq that I have over you, kun li muhibba, you also love me. Go from person to person, introduce them to who is Allah, tell them about Allah's greatness, tell them about Allah's majesty, tell them about Allah's glory. They will begin to love Allah. Allah Ta'ala tells Dawood alayhi salam, in return for that I will love you.
Allah is Khaliq. Allah is the creator. Allah is exhibiting His takhliq, His qudrat around us all the time. Statistics of 1990 show 300,000 children are born every day. Normally a woman carries a child for 9 months. 300,000 born every day. So multiply 300,000 by 30 days by 9 months. It will give us an idea of how many fetuses in how many women's wombs Allah at one time is creating. That is just insan. What about the she-camels? What about the she-horses? What about the wolves? What about the cheetah? What about the lions? What about the animals in the deserts? Animals in the jungle? What about leave the animals of the land? The fish in the sea outnumber the animals of the land. What about the multitudes of Allah's creation? That is the earth. First heaven, second heaven, third heaven, fourth heaven, fifth heaven, sixth heaven, seventh heaven. All this at one time Allah is creating. And not just creating, Allah is controlling. Allah is Bari. At one time, Allah is exhibiting His sifat Bari. What does Bari mean? That Zat and that being who creates without raw material, who brings into existence from nothingness. ذَلِكَ بِأَنِّي جَوَّادٌ واجد ماجد أفعل ما أريد عذابي كلام وعطائي كلام إنما أمري إذا أردت شيئا أن أقول له kun fayakun. Allah says, I am Jawad, I am the most generous, I am Wajid, I am Majid, I do as I please. If I want to send azab, it is kalam. If I want to give, it is kalam. Allah says, Innama amri, my affair is such, when I intend anything, I say kun fayakun, be, and it becomes. Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, on this kun fayakun, he says, La takhda'anna li makhluqin ala tama'in, fa inna dhalika mudhirrun anka bid-deen. واسترزق الله مما في خزائنه فإنما هي بين الكاف والنون. He says, don't lower yourself, don't demean yourself by attaching any desire of your heart towards the makhluk of Allah. Look in the treasures of Allah, turn towards your Allah, because His treasures are such, His ata is such. One person asks, 2 people ask, 1,000 people ask, 1,000,000 people ask, all the insan on the surface of the earth at one time start asking in English, in French, in Arabic, in Italian, in the hundreds of different languages, in the thousands of different dialects, all at one time have to ask, La yatabarram bi-ilha'i dhawil hajat. Allah says, I will never ever get tired of your asking. 4 children at one time go to their mother, 4 children at one time and ask, all asking at one time. Even the mother says, don't eat my head, go away from here, stop troubling me now. لا يتبرم بإلحاء ذوي الحاجات. Yet your Allah is such, He never gets tired of your asking. بإلحاء, by your insisting from Him, He never gets tired. And such, all at one time, in all the different languages. لا يشغله سمع عن سمع ولا يمنعه ولا يلهيه قول عن قول ولا يمنعه فضل عن فضل. Allah, by listening to one person, will not become inattentive of the next one. By listening to one person's speech, Allah will not become unaware of the other one. Allah will not get mixed up. Allah will not get confused. And Allah's ata is such, by giving one, it does not mean that what He has will get finished. Adabi kalam, ata'i kalam. It is kalam with Allah. Innama amruhu idha arada shay'an an yaqula lahu kun fayakun. Allah's affair is such that when Allah Ta'ala decides anything, all Allah says is kun, be, fayakun. It becomes amruhu bayn al-kafi wan-noon. Fa-innama hiya bayn al-kafi wan-noon. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu says, forget kun fayakun. Kun kehne ki bhi zarurat nahi. Not even necessary to say kun also. Allah's affair is between the kaf and the noon. Allah's irada is wujud. وَمَا أَمْرُنَا إِلَّا كَلَمْحِ الْبَصَرِ أَوْ هُوَ أَقْرَبُ. Allah says our affair is like the blinking of an eyelid. No, 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 no. Faster than the blinking of an eyelid. Faster than the blinking of an eyelid. 100 times this dunya, 1,000 times this dunya, 1,000,000 times this dunya. وَلِلَّهِ خَزَائِنُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. To Allah belongs the treasures of the heavens and the earth. وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا عِندَنَا خَزَائِنُهُ. The treasure of everything belongs to Allah alone. Allah is Bari, that Zat, and that being who from nothingness brings things into existence. At one time, in the womb of all the women of the world, and all the animals, and all the fishes, and all the countless creations of Allah, Allah is exhibiting His takhliq. Allah is exhibiting His sifat bari. Allah is exhibiting His sifat musawwir. What is musawwir? The fashioner, the designer, that beautiful appearance, that complexion, that tinge of redness, that tinge of whiteness, that tinge of blueness in the eyes, and greenness in the eyes, and blonde hair, and auburn hair, and black hair. Huwa alladhi yusawwirukum fil arhami kayfa yasha. Allah is fashioning and designing on what? On a drop of water. On a drop of water, Allah is fashioning and designing without error in 3 layers of darkness. 3 layers of darkness. Somewhere the sperm is swimming. Somewhere fertilization has already taken place. Somewhere an eye is being formed. Somewhere an ear is being formed. Somewhere a tooth is being formed. Somewhere a finger is being formed. Somewhere hands are being formed. Somewhere feet are being formed. Somewhere the lung. Somewhere the kidney. Somewhere the intestines. All this without error. That is insan. What about the animals? The horses, the donkeys, the camels, the cheetahs, the lions. In their stomachs also, eyes, ears, beaks. Without error. It never happens that a dog gives birth to a cat, or a cat gives birth to a dog. Ma kana rabbuka nasiya. Allah doesn't forget anything. La yadillu rabbi wa la yansa. Allah doesn't make mistakes. Ma hum bimu'jizeen. Nothing is beyond the power of Allah.